So I've got a really good question for you. And the question is this: is social media changing our lives? And do we need to be alarmed about this? Because I was just reading a book called Social Warming, which is really helping me shape my content and research. Social warming, how social media polarizes us all. Now, I know there's some research out there that says that, in actual fact, kids that use platforms, particularly games, can sharpen their reflexes, their cognitive thinking in some cases, and that's good. But when I personally look at the world today, I see chaos in the world anyway. There's two wars in Europe, and we have to lean on our emotional intelligence to understand what the safety zone is of how much content do we actually want to watch, need to watch, is safe to watch, etc. I'm not saying I have all the answers, but what I am saying is that, look, at the end of the day, you have to make a conscious decision yourself about how much social media you watch, you produce, you live, you breathe. It's the same as a diet, isn't it? How many jam donuts are you going to eat? How many Coca-Cola bottles are you going to buy in one day? What's the how much you're going to spend on clothing? You've got to consciously make that decision. Now, yes, social media is great for business. Like me, I'm building my brand, Healthy Secrets, very slowly, centimeter by centimeter, literally, which is fun and interesting. But as a global society, and I wrote a paper on Facebook when I was at university some years ago now, saying the psychological impact on Facebook. It can destroy marriages. I wrote many years ago, cyberbullying was one of the, you know, um, not paragraphs, but sections in this essay that I wrote. It's called a thematic independent study. I've re-released it on social a couple of times. Doesn't really get a lot of views. It's not the most interesting conversation because it's really, for me, I think it's because it's not rocket science. Yes, social media can change your opinion, your views, and as the book says, your political opinion in some cases, because the algorithm can store a lot of data from you. Facebook have done that; they've been in trouble for it. I don't think that the platform CEOs are evil people. It's just humans themselves. We live our lives on social. I do. So all we're really seeing is a reflection of ourselves, really. And that's saying to us, we are a mixture of things. We're creatures. We can be giving kindness. There's excellent TikToks around about giving kindness, as well as on other platforms. So it's not the platforms that I think are destroying humanity or anywhere near like it's our own hearts because yes, I'm a born again Christian. I'm not preaching here, but at the same time, social media is just the video version of everybody's lives, and yes, God sees everything, but if you reverse that, not quite, but if you're not a believer, that's fine. Videos are videos, and if we're taught, according to some theories, more so thought leaders to say that we should document our journeys to promote our business because that's a true, authentic way of doing it. I'm doing that on Healthy Secrets. It's pretty fun. I do try and create other content. I'm doing this video out of inspiration from the book because I get inspired by reading and I do a fair amount of reading. But equally, I think to myself, okay, we have to create our own safety zones. Like watching horror movies. I stopped watching deep horror movies a couple of years ago, more than that, I can't remember now, because of my faith, and I felt that it was triggering off different thoughts I weren't happy with because I live with non-epileptic attack disorder. And it is a rare type of epilepsy where I have rare seizures. I had two last year. They impacted my year significantly. my mental health was a bit rocky. This year so far, I feel stronger, I feel fitter. Yes, I've been training in the gym, but my mental fitness is strong. It needs to be, I want it to be because, and to be honest with you, a lot of that has fed off from social because I've done good research and even watching the Dario CVO podcast, as well as other things I pay attention to, more my own feelings and my rest gaps between watching content. Like just for a moment, I sat on my bed, I closed my eyes off. I was a little bit tired because I've been doing a lot of watching and kind of consumption this afternoon, and I felt like I needed a break. And I do that sometimes. I lay on my bed, but I know that that's a good safety tip for myself where I'm watching too much content, or not just too much, but enough that's going to educate me. I don't watch negative content. I'm not saying I haven't watched things that I shouldn't watch. You know, I think sometimes as men, we're all playing the innocent game of, oh, we never watch the naughty stuff, but we all do. Not everybody. And you've got to decide for yourself what path you take on that road. For me, I try to lean on my faith. It doesn't mean I'm perfect by no means, but social media content can be used in good and bad, but it is just a video representation of our human lives that we live anyway. So even if there was no social media, will we still be watching horror movies? Will we still be, going to the beach and doing things that we are doing? Of course we would. So I think we have to ask ourselves and take accountability for our own actions because you have a decision whether you want to stay up late on your mobile phone to scroll through and do the doom scrolling effect and find something that you think is entertaining. And yeah, it's true when you go out and you see the public today, 70-80% people, this is a rough estimate, are not engaging with each other, even in parks in the summer. They're on their phones because we live in a digital world. I wouldn't say it's a fake world, it's just reality of the technology we have today. Whereas some years ago now, when they didn't have mobile phones, maybe, even back to the 60s, 50s after the war, even 100 years ago, walking around, talking to people, wearing their top hats, bowing down. And I don't think we've lost our way. We just evolved into a new innovation of people. And for me, that's exciting. Um, we are living in more stressful times. So you look at the dangers of our own mental health, and it's not the dangers of social media. In actual fact, I do believe that social media can be returned back to goodness. All we have to do is reverse the content we're putting onto different platforms. Like, for instance, we need to put more educational videos around how to look after your emotions, which is most of my content I produce on TikTok, to be honest with you. So it's an interesting one. And I just feel that we look at social media in so much in a negative way where it's it's how much negative can you get out of a negative? Um, it's like, I want to turn these two pens, you can't see them here just a little bit, these two pens into seven. I'm not a genie. So we have to be real with social media. It does change behavior. That's the idea of any content. Because when I was a teacher, I designed my resources. I get my students to watch a video and they were either amazed, happy, sad, didn't like the video, whatever. But it was designed to change their belief, their behavior, not completely, because I was only doing kind of leadership lessons and stuff like that, and basic principles of marketing. That's education. So we can watch quite a lot of social media. Yeah, we've got to have the safety cap on in terms of number one, harmful content, I believe. Number two, too much exposure to screens, which can cause damage to your eyes. And some research has suggested your brains. I'm trying to slow down to have social breaks. I don't switch on my phone first thing in the morning. I have an hour off, and laying on my bed away from social is good for me. We need more boredom. So I guess that's number four, I think. And number five, there's a film called, and I always refer back to this film in my head anyway. I don't really speak about it a lot. It's called Executive Decision. And I can't remember, there's a few famous actors in it. Steven Seagal dies in it, I believe. But there's is it Haley Berry? I think it is. Yeah, she's in. And then you've got another guy who's in the cockpit trying to fly the plane when the terrorists have gone and kind of is coming to the end towards in the movie. And they're sitting in the cockpit. And then Haley Berry says to the other guy, who is quite famous, so I just can't think of his name. Um, Kurt Russell. Yeah, that's it. Kurt Russell is sitting there, and she says to Kurt Russell, Haley says to Kurt, just relax and fly the plane. And I don't think sometimes we know what we've got in life. We don't enjoy the stuff that we've got. So if you've got access to free distribution, yeah, post content to make a business. But if you've got access to YouTube, which we all have, and you want to learn something, you're watching this video right now. Most people won't watch up to this end. I don't think the algorithm's that fair with the Google or YouTube, as it were. But that's life. So I'm gonna relax and enjoy the aftermath of me posting this video, which is a random one, by the way, from me, and hopefully I can build an article around this because I think social could go in the right direction. It's just how we use and engage it. And in terms of generative AI, artificial intelligence, from a perspective of trying to evolve how we align AI to content strategies, particularly for us marketeers and startups like me, founders that are trying to push out a brand, Healthy Secrets, it can be a global brand, but it's going to take a lot of effort. A real, it's going to probably suck me up a little bit, to be honest with you. I'm not afraid, but I'm a realist in terms of I know that it could take me probably 10, 5, 4, 3 years, I'd say, of good um business strategy and content posting. Not in a meticulous like 100 posts a day, but because I've already got good awareness around the globe anyway. But it will take some doing. Is it worth it? Yes. Will it save lives? Yes, because that's the research, Healthy Secrets. Follow the secrets, follow better well-being videos, resources, courses, clothing to give you that mind buzz of I feel part of the brand. I want to look after myself. There is all that, and it might not come true, but should I do it? And is social media the pathway to do that? I'd say 100% yes. My faith keeps me going for sure because I'm in a situation now where I feel this is really my mark on the world. Yeah. It might not work, I don't know, but I'm gonna give it a go because this feels right. If you can help others, serve others, why not? I think that's what I get a lot from the Bible. And yeah, so I'm going to relax and fly the plane, as it were. So thank you for watching this video. If you've watched all the way to the end, if you are one of those few who have watched all the way to the end, give yourself a pat on the back, and I thank you so much for doing that. Um, and we'll see what the future holds for Healthy Secrets and me, the founder, Stephen Farhay, and see what my life brings in the next 5 years. I say 5 years because 10's too long, but in the next 5 years, I'd be interested to see where I end up. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, folks, if you've watched, this is the first time you've watched this channel, or this is going out on other platforms, follow or subscribe, Healthy Secrets. Follow the secrets, okay? And this is one of them. Thank you.